Tesla may be leaking certain customer data, we get the latest Autopilot Safety report, and we have a bit of CyberTruck potpourri. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 591 for May 4th, 2020. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a new Tesla, please consider using his referral code. Ask your salesperson to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000-mile supercharging credit for your new vehicle. We start the week with the most important story we've had in a while, courtesy of Inside EVs. Unfortunately, it's not a good one. Now, this only affects a certain section of the Tesla population, but as people get upgrades to their FSD computers, this is a big public service announcement. A character you're well aware of in the Tesla space, if you've been with me for any time, Green the Only, has discovered that discarded computer units from Tesla vehicles have been ending up for sale on secondary markets without first having the data deleted off the hardware. This data includes phone books and calendars from paired phones, home and work locations saved in navigation, as well as Netflix and other stored cookies from the Tesla Theater or other websites that may have been signed into from the browser. This, of course, is not good. How are these units ending up available? Well, one of two things is likely the cause. Firstly, and most likely, dumpster divers are simply plucking them out of Tesla's garbage. As Green the Only discovered, there are instances where service centers have made at least some effort to destroy the actual hardware, in one instance doing a reasonable job at crushing the unit that Green the Only purchased. But as anyone in computers knows, it's the storage medium you need to damage, and this certainly didn't get it done. Nor did some of the other attempts, which from some of Green's sources involve simply cracking the thing with a hammer a few times. Again, not necessarily going to affect the storage modules nestled inside. Because the storage medium is not fully encrypted by the vehicle OS, if you can hook the storage media up to any machine that can read it, you can simply siphon off any information that you'd like because it's there in plain text for anyone to see. So, what does this mean to you? Well, it depends. If you already had an MCU replaced for any reason or had an FSD upgrade, you should probably get to work changing all passwords on accounts that you used with your Tesla. You should also be aware that, unfortunately, people could have physical addresses that are attributed to you if you save them to navigation, again, such as work, home, or any favorites. There's not really a whole lot you can do here, it's just something you need to be aware of. On the other hand, if you're getting ready to have an FSD upgrade or MCU replacement done, the best thing you can do is to run a full factory reset of the car before turning it over to Tesla. Yes, this is an enormous pain in the butt because you will have to set up all your settings again after the procedure is complete, but this is absolutely the best course of action to ensure that your data doesn't end up in the wrong hands. To say this situation is unfortunate is a bit of an understatement, and we'll need to keep an eye on this one to see what, if anything, develops on this front. I suspect that if anything happens, it'll be the standard pay for identity theft monitoring that almost every other company settles for when something like this happens, but we'll see what we get. If you want the full details of the situation, including stories about 4 owners who Inside EVs contacted about this story, please check out the excellent article linked in the show description from Gustavo Enrique Rufo. It's a phenomenal job. On to some better news, and that's the Q1 2020 Autopilot Safety report. Credit goes to Tasmanian here for pointing out that it had been released. If you're unaware, Tesla releases a report quarterly to show the effectiveness of Autopilot for avoiding crashes compared with human pilot, and the difference is always striking. This quarter around, Tesla drivers with Autopilot engaged registered 1 accident for every 4.68 million miles driven. Tesla drivers that were manually piloting the car but still had Autopilot safety features available to them registered 1 accident for every 1.99 million miles driven. For those with neither, Tesla drivers registered 1 accident for every 1.42 million miles driven. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's most recent data shows that in the US, human pilots register 1 accident every 479,000 miles. So in other words, Autopilot is better than human pilot by nearly an order of magnitude. By comparison, Autopilot improved over Q4 last year dramatically, where it logged 1 accident per 3.07 million miles driven. Year over year, it also improved dramatically, where 1 accident was logged per 2.87 million miles in Q1 2019. Could be many reasons we saw the uptick for this quarter, so I'm not going to speculate. The important thing is to see that we will hopefully have a rate that is maintained or exceeded next quarter. Final bit of news tonight, some CyberTruck potpourri. For those of you that can't get enough of the Cybertruck or any of the minutest details surrounding it, you need to check out Motor Trend's Blowout article. They were provided first access to view the Cybertruck, along with a few other journalists, about 8 weeks prior to the reveal, and then again about 2 weeks out. Much of the article is information we already knew about from the announcement, but they've got a ton of lovely pictures and a little infographic video that's about a minute and a half long that's pretty nice. The other tidbit comes from Tasmanian, pointing out that CNBC has released a trailer for the new season of Jay Leno's Garage. Much as Jay got a chance to hang out with Franz and launch the Roadster, the preview for the season shows that the CyberTruck and CyberQuad are on deck for this season of the show. The new season premieres on May 20th, but we have no knowledge exactly of when the CyberTruck will be featured. So stay tuned here, and I'll let you all know as soon as there's something concrete. Lastly for this show, I have a contest that's going on, and I realized that I hadn't promoted this on the show with all the other pandemic-related information and earnings calls and whatnot going on. Due to said pandemic and its side effects of sitting at home all the time, and having family begin to really irritate me, I'd found I'd been getting a bit glum and figured I wasn't the only one. So I started the contest on Twitter to win a Hot Wheels Model 3 to give a little joy to someone out there, as I'm paying for it a kindness sent to me. To earn that bit of joy, I'm asking folks to post to that thread a picture of something that gave them great joy in their own life here recently. Could be anything, so long as it was something that really brought you some joy. I think we could all use some about now, that's for sure. Find the link to the thread in the show description and post a reply to enter. Also, it is my pinned tweet right now, so you can always check there as well. Contest ends this Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, basically when I'm producing Friday's show, so I can announce the winner on that show. Good luck to everyone that enters. And that does it for today's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. And as always, a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, Sunil Joseph, and Joy Rodriguez. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next time, keep it charged and hit the road.